Welcome, everybody, to the PWZ podcast. This is Rick Del Santo. Hope everybody had a really great day. This is going to be the wrestling news portion of the day. I hope everybody had the chance to go check out my interview with Adam Parsons from the Wrestling Legends Network today. It was a really fun interview. Got to talk about the network, got to talk about his TV show, Classic All-Star Wrestling, which airs on NESN each and every weekend. That's New England Sports Network. We got to talk a lot about vintage wrestling and how that show came about and how the tape library came about. So it's very interesting. It's roughly 25 minutes. So I suggest anybody go back to, it's up on YouTube. It's on all audio platforms such as Spotify and Apple. So right now, without further ado, we're just going to jump into the news. For something that's a little bit different for us here. I don't talk much UFC or MMA, in the recent, couple of years. I don't watch it nearly as much as I used to, but Dana White is making the headlines. UFC's Dana White was involved in a physical altercation with his wife on New Year's Eve. Excuse me, the lights just went out in Mexico. That's where he and his wife were celebrating their New Year's, and I guess they were at a nightclub, and what happened was that she went to go walk away. He grabbed her, and she slapped him in the face, and video caught him slapping her back. Apparently, he slapped her twice right back in the face. TMZ had published a video of the incident on Monday that showed the couple talking while at a club in Mexico's Cabo San Lucas, followed by her putting her head in her hands. She then went to leave. White grabbed her which prompted her to slap him, and then he appeared to slap her twice before the couple was separated. White spoke to TMZ on Monday and said that both of them were heavily intoxicated, but that was no excuse. He owned up to saying in the past regarding fighters that there is no excuse for a man to put his hands on a woman, and acknowledged that goes for him as well. There's also a video. He said he does not remember a lot, that there was a lot of alcohol involved, and that their main concern right now is their children. So it's going to be an interesting story to watch unfold and see how that's going to be handled by the parent company of UFC, if they're going to take any action against White. So we'll see what happens there. On NWA news, the NWA All Access on Fight is being phased out. Power took place on YouTube, now exclusively back on Tuesdays at 6:05. That started today. I was a subscriber to All Access. I'm waiting for it to phase out, I guess. So a year after they first announced their All Access plan on Fight, the NWA changed course on Tuesday, which was today, and reverting back to the way they used to do business, both their weekly TV shows and pay-per-views. Starting today, their flagship NWA Power weekly TV show returned on YouTube 6:05 Eastern, while there was no change to the NWA USA. Monthly and annual All Access plans on Fight are no longer available for purchase. In the release, it was stated that the annual plans sold for $49.99 a year began being phased out last August. We're just being notified now, it seems. And that those who still have annual subscriptions will be able to watch live pay-per-views until the subscription expires. For non-annual subscription users, NWA pay-per-views will return to being available on Fight for individual purchases. While not specifically stated, it is believed the NWA will continue with 6 yearly pay-per-views, as they added 2 last year in conjunction with the All Access announcement. The first ever Nuff Said pay-per-view is set for February 11th in Tampa, Florida. I find that very interesting because that they're phasing it out, because they also promised exclusive content, extra events, that they would hold random extra events and possible monthly random events, and that never surfaced, okay, which I thought, I had always looked for some sort of specials that they might produce, but they never did them. So that's no wonder they're getting rid of it. I want to know how many people actually were subscribers of the package. And if you are a subscriber, if anybody knows that information, I'd love to check it out. Another NWA news. Colby Corino's contract with the NWA expired at the end of 2022. He is now a free agent. And after finishing up with the NWA, Colby confirmed his free agency in a Twitter post on Monday. His contract with the NWA expired at the end of the year. Bodyslam.net reported last month that Corino wouldn't be resigning with the NWA. The report stated that once Corino became a free agent, he was expected to travel to the WWE Performance Center and get a thorough look from the WWE. In a quote, according to sources there, a whole lot of interest in Corino from WWE. Additionally, he was told that once Colby is a free agent in January, that it is expected to be traveling to Orlando, Florida, to spend time at the WWE Performance Center, where he will be given a thorough look from the company. It was expressed to me that if things go well, we can expect him to sign and report to NXT. It does not hurt that his father works backstage there at the WWE. So we're going to keep that posted here as well. This Sunday, let's see, is it this Friday? Nope, January 13th. So that's next week. Hard to Kill is presented by Impact Wrestling. Now there's been a digital media title match added. It's been made official. Joe Hendry will put his championship on the line against Moose at Hard to Kill on Friday, January 13th. The pay-per-view will be taking place at Center Stage in Atlanta, the legendary wrestling building from the Turner days. On last week's Best of 2022 edition of Impact, a promo aired that Hendry calling out Moose for the title match. So there you go. It's going to be Joe Hendry and Moose, former Impact World Champion. Should be interesting. And the rest of the show, Impact Champion Josh Alexander will defend against Bully Ray in a Full Metal Mayhem match. Knockouts champion Jordan Grace will defend against Mickie James in the title versus career match. I'm expecting Jordan Grace taking that, Mickie James leaving Impact. Don't forget. There's also a Royal Rumble coming up in a few weeks, so Mickie James might make another appearance there. Impact Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns, will be taking on, defending against the major players, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, the Bullet Club of Chris Bay and Ace Austin, and Heath and Rhino in an elimination-style match. And X Division Champion Trey Miguel will defend against Black Taurus. Let's see, Jonathan Gresham against Eddie Edwards, which will be fire, as the kids say. Not to mention the number one contenders match in Masa Slamovich taking on Taylor Wilde and Deonna Purrazzo. That's in the knockouts match. So I want to say thank you very much for tuning in. That's the news for tonight. If there's anything else breaks, we'll be bringing it to you first thing in the morning. If you know any news, write it here in the comments. Anyways, folks, take care. We'll be back later. Enjoy your night.
Hey, this is the one-man gold mine, the one-man enterprise of professional wrestling and all entertainment, Flynn Hendrix. And you better believe when I'm looking for a good podcast to listen to, I go to my own. I go to the I Know You Hear Me podcast hosted by me, Flynn Hendrix. That is such a fresh perspective for how you should look at life, too. I love that. And then when I'm feeling spooky, I go to my other podcast, Tales from the Haunt, where I want my head shoved inside a 15-pound silicone mask. More. I want to have a bucket of sweat coming off me at the end of the night than just Jeff.
Dogs don't lay eggs, Flynn.
I hate you so much. Talk to other scare actors about what it takes to get into the world of scare acting. So if you're curious about how people became professional wrestlers, actors, prioritized their mental health, became entrepreneurs, avoided burnout, or got into scare acting, you need to go check out I Know You Hear Me and Tales from the Haunt, available on all podcasting platforms. And I know you hear me.